Hello everyone, let's discuss today's The Hindu editorial page. The first article is The Wrong Cooks Spoiling the Scientific Broth. In this article, the writer says that science is often seen as a sacred cow in India, with the belief that it makes students intelligent, unprejudiced good citizens, and instills objectivity and scientific qualities of mind. However, institutions are filled with scientists with a quarter-cooked scientific temper, with power often having the upper hand over knowledge, even within these scientific cantonments. The only knowledge that flows freely in India is from the barrel of the American journal, while all other knowledge remains locked up as grey matter in human resources. The travails of Belandur Lake and threats posed by developments such as artificial intelligence should force science to slow down its agenda. A large chunk of scientific forces needs to be redeployed on the science-society border to seek solutions to real-life problems. The scientific method is based on beliefs in empiricalism, replicability, and free exchange of information. It has predominantly followed the strategy of reductionism, which is an approach to understanding the whole of something by examining its parts. However, this approach cannot succeed in all cases, as the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. In the real world, it is often difficult to untangle a complicated web of causal relationships to determine which one is decisive. Relying only on individual disciplines to confront real-life problems provides a skewed perspective. If humans need to be served by science, science must be subservient to humans and confront the uncomfortable prospect of dealing with human complexities. Diverse languages, vocabularies, worldviews, value systems, beliefs, faiths, and cultures. Many real-life problems call for practical knowledge generated to solve them, long before there is enough research to establish an irrefutable point. The goal of achievement of truth or full factual knowledge becomes a luxury, and the boundary between subjectivity and objectivity becomes blurred. Ignorance, assumptions, value systems, uncertainty in formulating system boundaries, indeterminacy, and differences in culture have to be dealt with in the new regime. The natural sciences need to work in tandem with human sciences, explaining phenomena in terms of meanings and purposes rather than mechanical causes and effects. Social sciences focus on behavior, with psychology seeking internal explanations and economics, sociology and political science seeking external explanations. The humanities, including art, history, literature, music, philosophy, and religious studies, offer strategies for addressing dilemmas and acknowledging ambiguity. They provide tools for logical analysis and modes of discussing moral and ethical questions. Philosophy has interacted with business and medicine on issues of ethics and reproductive technologies, as well as social scientists interested in rational choice theory. The humanities are organized around the production of qualitative knowledge, arriving at through sound argument rather than empirical testing of theories. Other sources that facilitate addressing real-life problems include oral histories, eyewitness testimonies, artifacts, artistic creations, and forms of tacit knowledge. A variety of perspectives and methods from different disciplines need to be brought to bear on a complex real-life problem. Connections must be made between problems and disciplines, between problems and theories, and between problems and accumulated knowledge. In order to address complex real-life problems, an integrative model is constructed that proposes a realistic solution. Science leaves this kind of integration of knowledge from other sources out of the scientific method altogether. Scientists must be ready for this new role, possess personality traits to work in collaboration with other disciplines, recognize the ability of common citizens to be both critics and co-creators in knowledge production, learn to live with and plan for contingencies, think abstractly and dialectically, have linkages with external communities to foster multi-directional knowledge flows, design incentives for sharing knowledge beyond publications, and embrace all elements of a proper scientific temper, including humility and a yearning to learn lessons from others. The next article is salutary reminder: inflation should not undermine overall macroeconomic stability. In this article, the writer says that the Reserve Bank of India, RBI, has held benchmark interest rates and remained focused on achieving durable price stability in January. The consumer price index-based price gains have eased from December's 5.69% to a 3-month low of 5.10% last month. But inflation readings for key food items like cereals, vegetables, and pulses continued to rise at 7.83%, 27%, and 19.5%, respectively. The Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, CMIE, reported that 12 out of 19 items monitored by the Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, CMIE, posted accelerations in year-on-year price gains last month from their December readings. Cereals, which have the heaviest weight in the food group, remained stuck in a higher trajectory, with the subgroup that includes the key staple of rice barely nudging lower at 0.75% compared with December's 0.76%. Rice was the primary drag, with its price at non-PDS outlets accelerating both sequentially and on-year by 1.02% and a 6-month high pace of 13%, respectively. The prospect of prices softening significantly in the near future appears remote. Reserve storage levels also add to the concern on the outlook for prices, particularly food items. With water storage at 150 reservoirs showing live storage at 49% of capacity, output of rabi-sown crops, including cereals and pulses, is at risk of being impacted. Food price gains pose a wider risk to overall price stability, both directly and through spillover to the prices of non-food items. The next article is Old-Fashioned Trust and Credibility Bind India-UAE Ties. In this article, the writer says that the deeply personal relationship between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, President of the United Arab Emirates, UAE, is a testament to trust and credibility. This bond has been evident during Modi's ongoing visit to the UAE for the third time in 8 months, which includes a bilateral visit in July 2023, one for COP28 in November, and a special invite to the G20 summit in September. The visit is unique as it coincides with the inauguration of the Grand Hindu Temple in Abu Dhabi, which has created excitement among the 3.5 million strong Indian community in the UAE. The Prime Minister's visit also includes his guest of honor at the 11th World Government Summit in Dubai, which focuses on shaping future governments and gives India a platform to put forth its own views before an influential global audience. Mr. Modi is expected to kick off the much-anticipated Bharat Mart, a key initiative of Dubai-based DP World and India's Ministry of Commerce and Industry to boost exports of Indian micro, small and medium enterprises by providing them retail, warehousing, and logistics facilities in Dubai's Jebel Ali Free Zone area. The project comes on the heels of the ambitious India-UAE Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, CEPA, which completed its first year in 2023 and has already seen India's trade with the UAE grow by 16% to $85 billion. The unique combination of CEPA and the Bharat Mart has the potential to provide a strong impetus to export of India's manufactured goods, even as the initial steps to start trading in national currencies promise to reduce transaction costs. The Memoranda of Understanding signed at the bilateral engagement would further strengthen the economic relationship between India and the UAE. Regional issues have also been addressed during the talks between Modi and Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, including the ongoing war in Gaza, attacks by Houthis on shipping in the Red Sea, and the danger of an escalation. Longer shipping times, higher freight costs, and a possible hike in oil prices can pose a significant risk to India's economic growth, and it is important that the government coordinates closely with key regional players such as the UAE, along with countries such as Saudi Arabia and Egypt, to ensure India's interests are protected. The next article is Homeward-Bound Quiet Diplomacy Without Brinkmanship Helped India's Case in Qatar. In this article, the writer says that the release of 8 former Indian naval personnel from Qatar, just 3 months after they were ordered a shocking death sentence, is a matter of great relief. The 8 men, 7 senior retired naval officers and a sailor, worked for the Qatar-based Dara Technologies. Their families denied reports of espionage, possibly for a third country, namely Israel, but the charges must have been serious enough to have invoked the death penalty. An appeals court did, in December, commute the death penalty to imprisonment terms, but upheld the conviction. It is to the government's credit that it was able to bring about the release of all the 8, 7 of whom have now returned. The success seems attributable to the strategies New Delhi employed: to pursue the case in court, showing respect to the Qatari legal system, providing the accused with full legal support and counsel, avoid all escalatory rhetoric and public sparring, and to take the case to the highest levels, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi discussing it with the Qatari Emir, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, during a meeting in Dubai in December.